The internet's feistiest woman, the brilliant Layahheilpern, is tonight's outsider. Now, in a world where so-called toxic masculinity has left many blokes walking on eggshells, is it time we let men be men in 2023? Layah certainly thinks so, heralding in the new year with this hard-hitting tweet that read, "The lack of masculine role models is the real pandemic." Well, that damning assessment went viral. It broke the internet, sparking a flood of replies that supported her theory, including some men who claimed being masculine was now a crime. And Layah joins me now. Hi, Layah.
Hi, great to be here. I didn't know I was Britain's feistiest woman. I like that. Thank you.
You most certainly are, and I hope you're going to get me to man up in the course of this conversation. Have we simply gone too far in trying to stamp out the few bad apples amongst the billions of men in the world?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really sad. We live in this femme-centric society whereby we have women raising young boys and essentially raising them in a way which raises them to be women. So if a young boy is competitive, if he's aggressive, if he's a little bit frustrated and he's fighting and he's wrestling, he's told that's bad, he's shamed for being himself and told that that's toxically masculine and he shouldn't do that. Now, that is incredibly dangerous. We also had the Gillette advert a few years ago, which shamed boys for the exact same thing. And I actually think that these traits are so important, these competitive traits, the traits of aggression and frustration, because this is what's necessary in order for a man to then progress and become the man that he's supposed to be, whether it's to build a business, whether it's to, build muscle and become big and strong, just to win in life. These are such important traits, and unfortunately taking those away shames boys for just being themselves. There's a reason why male suicide is 3 times higher than girls throughout the United Kingdom, and it's because every time a man just is doing what men are supposed to do, he's told that that's toxically masculine and he's shamed.
Well, that's right. We've just been talking about trans ideology, which in my view, Layah, is cancelling and erasing women. But men in their own way are being cancelled too.
Yeah, men are being cancelled, and I think it's actually having a really bad adverse effect, because when men don't have the opportunity to be men, it leaves this space, a space for then women to then have to get into their masculine energy and rise up and fulfill that space. And women aren't happiest when they're being men. They don't like it. Women are also repulsed by effeminate men, and men are repulsed by masculine women. And so they're just switching all the genders around, and it's sad. It's ruining the male-female dynamics. We're going to war with each other, and I think it's going to have very, very disastrous effects with years to come.
Men in the 70s, however, Layah, weren't great, were they? In the pub all day, expecting the wife or girlfriend to do all the cooking and cleaning and raise the kids. Wasn't there room for improvement among these real men?
Yeah, I definitely think there's always room for improvement. And, I don't necessarily even look at the 50s as the perfect time. I think things weren't good. Men were cheating on their wives. Men didn't appreciate the woman when she was raising the children and creating this beautiful home. And so the pendulum has swung so far the other way in order to make up for this. But I think that we're getting to a point whereby we've gone so far the other way, we realize that that doesn't work. And now we're at a point where men and women actually have this opportunity to appreciate traditional gender roles. Perhaps we will start to move back the other way, meet somewhere in the middle, and a man will actually appreciate a woman who is creating a beautiful home for him, cleaning the house, making beautiful meals, and the woman will really appreciate how hard it is for the man to go out every single day and provide. He has stress at work. Does he want stress at home too? Probably not. And so I think it teaches us this lesson. Overall, I could sort of get into why this might be the case. And I think ultimately strong men are the backbone of society. I think it's the men that go to war. It's the men that fight. It's the men that protect the women and the children. And when you feminize men and you don't have strong men, I think it's much easier for the government to come in and push their ideologies and indoctrinate the family. So that's sort of my analysis as to why that might be happening.
Amen to that, Layah. Great to have you on the show. Layahheilpern, do check her out on Twitter. A must read, a very, very compelling commentator and the author of Undressing Bitcoin.